All of a sudden, conservatism has been on the rise, I'd say, within the last few years, and that's totally a good thing. I think that a lot more people are becoming conservative, from millennials and younger generations, such as, Gen Z. I think that, that's kind of happening right now. I mean, really, that's the truth. More of, I would say, Gen Z would be more conservative, not like old school traditional conservative, but they are more conservative than like the last generation. And that being so, with the rise of conservatism of younger generations and that growing every single day, every single week, literally 24/7, the movement is growing. That has a lot of, different people entering the movement that literally only care about the movement so that they can make an extra dollar, they can make money, and they can make fast money from it. That's what people want nowadays, not the majority of people in this movement, but I've noticed that a lot of people are all of a sudden wearing MAGA hats, all of a sudden wearing red, white, and blue, and all that jazz. They really only care about the money. I mean, something that a lot of people don't talk about. They're like, yeah, it's marketing, like, what do you expect? We're in a capitalist society. But at the same time, I think that a lot of it is very dishonest, and there's other things I really want to go into. I don't care. It's not dishonest if you're just wearing, red, white, and blue, all that kind of stuff, and you're wearing a MAGA hat. I mean, that's okay. But I think you know better if you can kind of see what I'm talking about, is that there's specific individuals that really are like the MAGA individuals, or really like, I would say old school kind of conservatives that are trying to keep, different tactics that the left is also trying to do at the same time. And we're going to go deeper into this so that it makes a lot more sense, because at this point I'm saying a lot at once. I would say, though, first off, like, who I'm specifically talking about would definitely be the people that just put on like a MAGA and all of a sudden they want to talk about the typical conservative talking points and not actually tell you the truth on what's really going on behind the curtain. The normal conservatives that never want to go out of their bubble, never want to actually say anything out of line because, oh my gosh, they know that they could really get banned. They don't want to talk about censorship, they don't want to talk about BitChute, Minds, Gab, any of those websites, or Subscribestar, because then, oh no, they could actually get banned. And anything that is, worth, possibly losing your account over, they won't make the chance because they don't care. They care about the typical talking points that everybody knows it's safe, that they can recycle over and over. But why am I even talking about this? Why am I even bringing this up? Well, it all leads to a news story that has to do with Charlie Kirk and how he's reacting to a bunch of different questions. When people are able to question at the very end of his events that he's throwing for Turning Point USA, he's doing this at a lot of different colleges in the United States. And, students, they have questions that they want to ask after, or maybe even other people that can attend in the public. I don't know how that works. Maybe it's student only. But basically, you have students or other people that are able to ask Charlie Kirk, different questions on their own opinion on different things, or maybe a question they think that he, should respond to because they want to see how he feels about different things, because that's normal. Because, why do we ask Donald Trump on what he feels? Why do we ask the vice president what they feel, or, anything else like that? So, obviously, we're going to know what, he wants to know then. Then there's like a clip of Charlie Kirk where he's pretty much, okay, so he's at an event for Turning Point USA. And he's, answering all these different questions from people from the crowd, whether they're students or they're just a part of the audience or whatever, right? So he's asking away or he's answering away, and, he finally gets to somebody that's asking him, whether or not they believe that this whole entire thing happened with, like, Israel back in the day or something like that, something corrupt that happened where I guess Israel apparently stole money. I'm not entirely sure. I am going to read on that, but as of right now, I do not know anything about that. But yeah, he claims that happened, and all of a sudden, immediately, Charlie's response is very, very defensive. He's very defensive, where he was just like, saying that this guy was making conspiracy theories in the crowd, then, there, and that. And that was about it. That he was just lying. I mean, he was accusing him of lying about something, and they didn't even talk about it. He was just saying that he was peddling conspiracy theories out to everybody in the audience. For those of you that don't know, Charlie Kirk also owns Turning Point USA, which was founded in 2012, shortly after Charlie received a bunch of money from his dad so that he was able to buy that out. Now, it's okay. A lot of people, they have, blood money and it gets donated down to them, and they're very high class, and that's a fine thing. That's okay. But I am just explaining how he got his money and then the roots of that, okay? So then he started up his company, he started Turning Point USA, and from there he was promoting, freedom of speech. He was promoting that everybody should be free, we should not have censorship, and yada yada, all that kind of stuff. Conservatives should speak. But then, everybody started noticing what he started to say was not actually matching what real conservatism is. So another thing is that he was saying, like, somebody else, I don't know, I think it was like maybe over a month ago or 2 months ago or something, but besides the other guy that I was talking about, where he was like literally calling him, different names and saying that he was a conspiracy theorist and all that kind of stuff, it's that there's another person too that was asking different questions to Charlie Kirk. And they're asking, pretty much stuff to do with immigration. If it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, we should have a bunch of people come in here at once. And of course, everybody, typically does believe that, immigration, we should have that. That's a good thing. But we should not have, numbers be pouring into our country. Another thing that I find really, really, really crazy is the fact that, okay, so remember when Caitlin Bennett got kicked out of the Bernie Sanders event and she was not able to attend Bernie Sanders? And a lot of people, they're like, oh, what'd she do? She did something this time. I bet she did a stunt. And it's like, no, she actually was kicked out of there for no reason. She didn't do anything at all. So that was really, really screwed up. Now, another time, what happens now is that Politicon this year, literally this year, Nick Fuentes got kicked out. He got kicked out by Charlie Kirk's security team that took him away and said that he had no rights to be there, that he was going to be a distraction, a big problem. And Nick responded with, from what you can hear, you can't hear everything, but what you can hear is that he was like, what am I doing? Or like, what's the problem? Like, basically he was asking, because he also said too, like, what am I gonna, make yelling noises or scream? That's another thing that I did hear. So, it's very strange that they're kicking people out of Politicon when they're acting like Turning Point USA. They want to act like they're there for freedom of speech. They want to act like they actually care about your voice and the liberals' voice and the right's voice and everybody's voices, but they do not care. They disagree with you, or if they can find out that you're not going to work with them and do everything that they want to do, apparently, and everything that they want to say, I think that Charlie Kirk gets a little bit upset about it. Obviously, you can see that now. I know a big portion of the right is constantly made fun of him, and I don't know, a lot of stuff is really funny that I've seen, a lot of the jokes, a lot of the memes, but I really never understood what the right really actually had against him, besides him being just really corny with the way that he tweets and just very basic, I'd say. But after a while, you can see that no, it's actually just going against the movement itself. You're kicking people out of events. You are, doing all that by calling out people, calling them conspiracy theorists, or saying that they're anti-Semitic, saying that some people are xenophobic and all that. But something that I saw and that I noticed was either yesterday, a few days ago or whatever, okay, so basically Gab had, this whole article that was with Big League Politics, and it was talking about Charlie Kirk. It was talking about how he dropped them as a sponsor for his whole entire event that he had. Now I'm going to click this. Might look like I'm kind of looking away for a second, but I'm clicking on the article. So, okay, it's by Big League Politics, like I said. And the article name, it is called Gab Dropped as Sponsor of Turning Point USA's Student Action Summit. Okay, so it's for the Student Action Summit. And they're going to sponsor them. Well, it looks like Gab was going to donate $6,000, and they were trying to do that so that they can actually spread freedom of speech. And I don't, really think it's that bad of a thing, because you have Turning Point USA. They're involved with all kinds of different colleges across America. Why wouldn't Gab want to, promote freedom of speech and promote that website as another alternative in the college environment? But of course not. No, that never happened. But you know, why don't you think for a minute, why do people like Charlie Kirk and, you know, other names I don't want to throw in the pot, but people like Charlie Kirk, why do they always talk about Parler all the time? They talk about the app Parler, you know, that weird little app. Okay, well, they talk about that, but they don't ever talk about Gab or BitChute or Minds or any of those other, you know, even DLive, like anything like that. They only want to mention Parler, Parler, Parler. I guess when Gab and Turning Point USA decided to, you know, split their different ways and go apart and not work together anymore, and they were kind of mutual about that. I mean, they were totally like, you know, in agreement. They decided to not go through with the $6,000 donation. So it's not like anybody was scammed, and no hard feelings. I just wanted to clear that up. Charlie Kirk, I think, does not want to be associated with anybody that is for, you know, BitChute or Gab or Minds or any of the competitors, and knows about YouTube, knows what YouTube is doing, and isn't totally like a old school conservative that does not care about protecting the movement at all. Maybe it's that he has money and he can see that, you know, you're not really going to make that much money compared to YouTube and compared to the little competitors. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, no offense, BitChute, no offense, Minds. I am sure you're like, yeah, duh, we already know this. But the thing is that, yeah, so YouTube, there's a lot more money there. If you have somebody that's more money hungry right now from the very start of everything and like how the way that things are changing, they're of course going to pick the easier route instead of choosing something that's much harder and something, you know, obviously more sincere and more worth it in the end. But they don't care. They don't care about something. They don't care about the bigger picture. All these people care about, just like Charlie Kirk, all they care about is money. And I think it's really a shame that all these people care about is money, when really all you should care about first, like literally number one, should be America first, caring about your freedom of speech in your own country, your own rights. When you say, like, it sounds ridiculous, but okay, when you say America first, what does that mean? That means that you care about your country first. You care about your country over other countries. Is that selfish? No, we can't care about the whole entire world the same way that we want to. You think that everybody is born and everybody should have equal rights, but people are, you know, they're in different environments, their upbringing, they're raised different. People, you know, different countries have different relationships. Look at what's going on with China. But yeah, one thing I really wanted to go back to is like, okay, talking about, I'd say America first, if you want to think about it, like who has that little show? What was it? Nick Fuentes? Okay. He was kicked out of Turning Point USA in the event that he was going to attend, just like Caitlyn Bennett was kicked out of Bernie Sanders. I was talking about this a little bit earlier, but you know, why? Why were they kicked out? They weren't kicked out because they actually thought that they were going to scream up and down and cause a problem, or, you know, all of a sudden have like a Laura Loomer episode. It was really, like, I would say it's totally against freedom of speech. First of all, because it's a public event. If you pay for something, let's say that I pay for a movie. I pay for a movie right now. I want to go see like a horror movie or something. I go in there and all of a sudden someone goes up to me and they say, you cannot attend this event because you do not have the right opinions. It's like, what do you mean? Like, I paid for the movie. I want to see the movie. So with the same thing with them, it's like, okay, if you pay for an event, like even politically, why are you not able to attend that event? So I think that we're starting to actually have real problems in America, unfortunately. And now they're trying to talk about like passing different hate speech laws where they can jail people for saying very hateful things, whatever that is. If somebody wants to get offensive about something and throw a little fit and a tantrum, then they can try to lock somebody else up in actual jail for what they're saying out of their mouth. Now, before I go further into this conversation, I think it's really important to say that what Nick Fuentes says, what I say, we have totally different opinions. I don't agree with him. I don't agree with anybody that I talk about, and I feel like I always have to, I don't know, just, you know, constantly say that and say that I disagree, because people, I think that they assume that once you're talking about someone, that obviously you're going to have the same opinions as them, and that's not true. But what I did want to defend is the whole factor that Charlie Kirk is just saying that he can't show up at an event, he can't be there. I think that's wrong. I think that he should be able to, you know, view other people speaking too. What's wrong, Charlie Kirk? You don't want Nick Fuentes to see you speak or to see anybody else speak, because last thing I checked is I can't remember what the speech was, but when you and Candace Owens were constantly going to Milo's speeches, and you're seen in the audience, there's video clips of you in the audience at various different events for Milo, just studying him, studying how he talked, studying how he walked, how he said things. And Charlie Kirk was trying to, I think, copycat Milo. I mean, you can see it, you can see proof yourself if it's not deleted. Like everything else that YouTube does, as soon as they get rid of you, they start slowly deleting all of your content. Or if you don't post for a while, they'll start slowly deleting your content. Even if you do post, they'll delete the views, they'll delete your subscribers, they'll censor you, blacklist you, whatever. But seriously, answer this. How can Charlie Kirk go into an event, be able to watch Milo, be able to watch everything that Milo had to say, but then you can't have the same freedoms passed on to someone like Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes has never had a public freak out. He's never freaked out. He's never done anything illegal as far as I can see. Maybe he has this crazy criminal record, but I doubt it. But I mean, as I can see, I don't think that Nick is someone that's going to start, you know, completely having a public freak out. If he doesn't have a past of it, if you've never seen anything before, you've never seen the news before, then why is all of a sudden this going to be made up into this whole entire thing that's not true? He should be able to view and study other people that are talking for the movement, other people that are part of the movement, other people that aren't part of the movement. I mean, it's your freedom. Why do we go to Washington, D.C., or your own state capital? Why do we even go to different political events? Why do we even vote? I mean, come on. Like, that's a whole reason, so that you can see what's going on. When you're blocking people from events for no reason at all like that, that's not free. It really is. I mean, I know that people, they can kick out whoever they want, but I think that they should actually have a real reason. On that note, I'm going to have another video coming very shortly. There's a lot of videos on my channel if you want to go check them out. And if you want to donate or support this channel, then you can go to my PayPal at Living Capone. Or you could also go to Buy Me a Coffee at Living Capone. It's only, you know, the cost of one coffee, 2 coffees, 3 coffees, whatever you'd want to do. But literally, if you think about it, one cost of a coffee, like, per month. But yeah, there's a lot of videos on my channel if you want to go check them out. Have the rest of your day, make it a good day. I'm officially heading out, so I will check you next time.